Brother Donnie here, Country Homestead Preacher, and we're on our new homestead, the land we've had for about a month, and we're going to be taking this area and making it our temporary chicken coop. Now that chicken coop may have to last a year, but as you can see, it's an existing lean-to structure, and what we're going to do, we're going to use half of it for a chicken coop and half of it for our goat shed. And the reason that is, if you'll get a, Jennifer can scan out, you'll see this pasture here is probably about maybe a half an acre that is partially fenced on one side. We're going to fence it in for our goats on a temporary basis. So we're going to get some of this junk moved out. This was stuff that was on the property here when we bought it, and we're going to get this moved out, and we'll be putting up, we decided to, instead of going with chicken wire, we're going to go with hardware cloth because it's a little more durable. And believe it or not, armadillos and possums, especially possums, maybe not armadillos, but for sure possums and raccoons can eat through chicken wire. But typically they can't get through hardware cloth if it's thick enough. So that's what we're going to be working on today, and we'll shoot a little video throughout and I'll give you an update on the progress. Well, day one is completed for the chicken coop restoration, and we had quite a bit of roof damage we had to repair on the top, and because of the timber prices, we're using reclaimed wood off the property here. We had all this timber, we had all the roof, the metal roof. This is actually a banister that comes from a deck from this property, and we're going to attach this here to give us a little more. It'll look a little better, plus it will hold our wire cloth on the back side. So it doesn't look like much progress, but there was a lot of roof damage we had to repair. We had to re-nail some studs, and it's just a work in progress. So that's day number one. Well, hello everyone, this is Brother Donnie, Country Homestead Preacher, and Jennifer. Welcome back to Heritage Lake Homestead. I want to talk to you about our chicken coop that we just got finished, and you probably saw from some of the other videos that this building here is 24 foot long, and it had a lean-to on the side that the previous owners used for cattle or goats or something. So what we did, we went and made some repairs on the roof, but we decided in one side of it to make it our temporary chicken coop. Now that temporary may be a year or two, we don't know, but it's not going to be the permanent chicken coop. So we use stuff that we reclaimed here on the homestead for the most part to refab this chicken coop, and I want you to know that you can do it too. Don't think you have to be an expert builder, although it certainly would help. I'm no expert builder. We fight our way through and we get it working, and we do what it needs to be, we do to it what it needs to be done, but you can do it too. So let's start right here. On this outside, we started with
hardware cloth.
Hardware cloth, thank you, hardware cloth. Now, there's two predators in Alabama that will absolutely tear into a chicken coop and eat chickens, and that is the possum and the raccoon. Now of course there's coyotes and there's other things that can get to them, snakes and so forth, but the two main predators we deal with that we have had to dispatch in the past is possums and coons. So what we did, by the way, that's what coons. What we did, we put this hardware cloth on the outside thinking that we were going to do the whole structure in hardware cloth. Well, we changed our mind because of the price factor. This hardware cloth is rather expensive compared to standard chicken wire. So we decided, we did this one, we'd already bought this, we did this one side, and then we went on the front side with the standard chicken wire. Now, you'll notice these pickets here, and this is for a little extra support, as well as it looks a little better. This was actually pickets that were off of 2 decks that we reclaimed here when we moved on the homestead. So Jennifer and I moved this, set this back up, and it gave it structure. It gave it some support here. Now, you'll notice at the top, the way the previous owner had built this lean-to, he had his rafter coming down, and of course, because he had goats and maybe cows in there, he didn't have a need to close it off. So I went and we just put 2x4s in the spaces. Now, let me point this out to you. It's a good idea if you can use reclaimed wood, but there is a price to pay. And that price is frequently splitting. Some of it you have to discard, some of it's rotted away. So you use what you can, but you still are going to save money on using reclaimed wood. So we closed all this off. We installed our hardware cloth. Come on in here and we'll show you the inside. You'll see here we put standard chicken wire up. Now I will tell you folks, a possum or a coon, if they want to get into this chicken wire, they can get in there. They can get in there. And I've seen it happen. A possum can absolutely tear through some of this chicken wire. But what we also did, you'll notice, and some people I know disagree, but we have seen it happen firsthand. These pickets here again came from a deck, and we did this for strength as well as a little added protection. And we just simply put our chicken wire on the front here, and we'll come on in to our enclosure. Now guys, what this, like I said, this was totally open with just the top on. So we have, this is about 18 foot wide, and we have taken and we have partitioned this side for the chickens, and this side's gonna be for the goats. So on this side, what we did, we took some old decking, and that's why you see all these nails, and I know it may not be totally appealing, but it's gonna serve a purpose, and that is, on the other side, when the goats love to put their hoofs up on things, so we put this wood up so the goats could not come against the chicken wire and hit it and knock it over. So this is just a separator between the goats and the chickens. You'll notice at the top, I had to do the same thing about enclosing, and we've tried our best to make it predator proof as possible, but there's always potential for predators to get in. Now, this whole enclosure, the wire and everything included, somewhere around $60, $60 to $65. And mostly that's because we used all reclaimed wood. Now you'll notice here the perches that we have built. And the perches, these are simply 2 pieces of wood with some angles cut in, and then Jennifer found some limbs that she liked, and we simply set these limbs down, which makes a natural light perch for the chickens. Very easy to do. You cut 2 45s on each end, put your grooves in, set your wood in, very easy to do. If you got some wood around the house, as a matter of fact, you can do it too. Of course, our nesting box here, this came from our house. One of these days, we're going to replace them. Hopefully, the long range plan would be to have rear access nesting boxes so that we could just open the door. However, on a temporary basis, we simply pop these babies up here, and this is where they will lay their eggs. So it really was not a difficult project. Quite frankly, the hardest thing was trying to match up the wood sizes in the various nooks and crannies around, because when you're using refab wood, nothing's going to be square. It's hard to get stuff square, and but overall we are very satisfied with it. Now the idea is going to be that the chickens will be able to come out every day, and we'll be able to open the chicken coop, and they'll be able to share the goat field with the chickens, and the chickens will be able to free range. Now I know that chickens can fly over and all this kind of stuff, but we really want to have them able to free range at some point in time. So that's kind of what we are trying to do. But the key thing to remember, folks, is I'm no expert on this. I'm a preacher and I work in fiber optics. I'm certainly not a carpenter. I'm certainly not a chicken guru, but we've been raising chickens for now about 4.5 years. And I'm telling you, if this is part of your vision, part of your dream, part of your homestead, you can accomplish this. You can build this on your own. And it doesn't have to cost a whole lot of money. It can be relatively low cost if you can get some unclaimed wood. Well, listen, I hope you enjoyed this entire video. Stay with us as we do a little bit of time. We are coming up on our month and 9 days that we've owned the property here. So we're working a little bit. Within the next 2 weeks, we're hoping to get moved over here. We'll have our animals over here and we're going to bring you along as well. If there's anything I can do for you, please let me know. It's Brother Donnie and Jennifer letting you know. Thank you for watching. If there's anything I can do, please let me know. I love you and Jesus loves you, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.